It's Victory Monday here on the Raiders Report. It's Mitchell Renz, host of the number one most watched Raiders show in the world because of the nation. Now, I'll tell you this right now. I love showing up to work after a big-time Raiders win. Doing that 26-hour live show made it all the more worth it because the Raiders feel like the Raiders again. Do they not? Playing for their head coach, Antonio Pierce, playing for each other as an overall unit, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I am as proud as I have ever been in terms of being a Raiders fan. Now, if you want to shout out here on today's show, let me get a JWB. I'm rocking my Just Win Baby jersey, and the Raiders just won last night against the New York Jets on Sunday Night Football. Appreciate every single one of y'all tuning into today's show, and we got a fun show on tap, and we're going to get a little bit crazy here after a win because sometimes that's what you just got to do. It is Victory Monday. We're going to party as much as we possibly can. I do want to apologize for my voice. My voice sounds horrible, but that's sometimes what happens when you spend an entire weekend in Vegas and then you get a big-time win on Sunday Night Football. Then I'm going to get into Raiders playoff chances. I'm going to tell you how likely it is as it stands right now and some of the things that need to happen for the Silver and Black, who are 5-5, because I'm saying there's a chance that they can get in. We're going to get into some Raiders injury news. We're going to talk about Kolton Miller. I'm going to talk to you guys about Amik Robertson. I was texting with Colton, so I'll give you an update on kind of what he told me there. And then we're going to look at an update around the Miami Dolphins because they have a big-time injury that could impact this game. As always, if you want to get your questions, your comments here on the show, make sure you use hashtag Raiders or you can super chat. All right, I want to give a few shout-outs here to Venthrak, Silk Reviews, Nico Laz, Anthony Delgado, John Gio. What up, Rebel Montana? I see Hefe. Get him out of here. Anthony, what up? Big Island, Kevin, appreciate all of y'all for tuning in to today's show. Now, here's the thing. I need to know where you guys are watching from because, man, the amount of Raider fans that came out to Las Vegas this past weekend, they were showing out. I think they did a really good job of reclaiming Allegiant Stadium. I was able to meet a bunch of Raider fans at Red Tail, which was a really, really freaking cool thing if you ask me. But I want to know where all y'all are watching from right now. We'll give some shout-outs here in just a second, but I do got to give a shout-out to today's sponsor, PrizePicks.
PrizePicks!
Chuck sliding on in there. I mean, even though I didn't hit my PrizePicks yesterday, I mean, I did still have a lot of fun playing, and you guys can too. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. You're going to be able to get a $100 deposit match. And on top of that, not only is PrizePicks sponsoring today's show, also Factor Meals on top of that.
I was going to say, you know what makes me starving?
I'm hungry right now. I know that.
Winning my PrizePicks. PrizePicks makes me starving, which then leads us to Factor Meals.
So the way that I am with like sporting events, or if I know like I'm going to be watching something, put some money down on PrizePicks. But I'm also the dude that's like, I have to know what I'm going to watch when I sit down and eat. And it's perfect with Factor because all you have to do is you can find what you're looking for, you pop it in the microwave, and for anybody that's watching right now, you're going to be able to get 50% off with code RaidersChat50. That link's available to you guys down in the comments and in the description of today's show. All right, so where are you guys watching from right now? I see Nevada in there, Arizona in the house from Monty.
I didn't see it is it on the menu this week? I didn't see the Peruvian shrimp.
What?
The Peruvian shrimp.
Oh, really? I'll have to check.
Nico, I swear, I'm going to get it. If it's not as good as you advertise, which it probably is because Factor's really good, but if it's not as good as the other things I've gotten, Nico, I'm coming after you.
Blaine Craig says, I'm currently sitting in the airport in Las Vegas. Blaine!
Correct!
Blaine, if you're watching, let out a really loud Raiders. I want to see if anybody else is watching the Raiders report in the airport right now.
How much for you to bang right now?
Blaine. Dude, if somebody sends in a 100, Blaine, I need you to grab your phone, I need you to record yourself, and I need you to bang in the Las Vegas airport. I'll put it on the show right now. Dude, can you... Second thought, maybe not the best thing to scream at an airport.
Bang!
Just gets tackled by a security guard. Yeah, you know what, Blaine? On second thought, maybe not the best thing to scream at an airport. He's like right when you're walking on the floor, like right when you're getting ready to sit down. Oh, man, that's funny as hell. Arizona from Monty Peters, the 915 from Joey Mata. Nico says, yeah, bro, nah. Like, yeah, Not a good idea. Not a good idea. Ruthless Raider, what up, Big Island?
Martin said, Blaine's the bomb.
Oh, my goodness. Lord Only Dance, what's up, my man? We got King here in the house at 320. Let's go to the first super chat rolling in here. What up, Derek? Unpopular opinion, we beat Miami by 10-plus points. I mean, I'll say this.
I feel like in this chat, that's a very popular opinion.
Yeah, well, right now, Carter, he's, I don't know who he is, but he's not a very happy camper. And
Carter Reimer?
Yeah.
He's one of our Dolphins Today viewers.
Yep, he was upset. We're going to call him the fish for the entire week. He was upset because, here's the thing, they're mammals. I know, it's mind-blowing. But right now, the Raiders are actually 10-point underdogs, and Miami is a lot different at home. They're a better football team overall at home. It's not expected to be all that warm. It's going to be like 75 degrees, which is actually probably cold for what the Raiders are used to practicing in. But what I do think that's going to be different here is the Raiders are a very physical team where the Dolphins are just not a physical team. They are fast. Like, are they going to have their running back Aidan back? Remains to be seen. But Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, I'm really curious to see what type of defense the Raiders run because I don't know if you're going to see Amik Robertson out there onto the field. It is an early game when the Raiders have to travel all the way across the field or all the way across the country to play in that early time slot. It's usually not the best. However, the Raiders are 2-0 with Antonio Pierce. The Miami Dolphins are 6-0 against teams with losing records, 0-3 against teams with a winning record. Raiders are 5-5. Maybe here's your tie.
Well, dude.
Maybe here's your tie this week.
I said Raiders are going to go, what did I say, 10-6-1?
10-6-1.
This would be the tie. This would be the tie.
Some might even say it's the tie of your life.
This would be the tie. The Raiders split the series with Kansas City.
Okay.
And then they win the rest of their games.
Man. I'm on board with that. I'll tell you right now, if I could push a red button and I know that that's going to be the outcome, I'm pushing that red button. I'm in. I'm okay saying that you were right because if you predict a 10-6-1 season, people are gonna be like, Jeremy, is it a boy or girl? Like, what is it? What's up, Ventrack? Friday is great, Sunday is fun, but Victory Monday is the best day of the week. Yeah, Victory Monday simply just hits different, and it's so much better than Overreaction Monday because Overreaction Monday after just some of those frustrating Raiders losses it's kind of mind blowing. But I was talking to a Raiders player today, and he's like, it's one of those things. It's amazing the difference right now in that Raiders team, and it's amazing just when you can get a bunch of people that simply believe. And now the fact that they believe they really truly believe that they can beat anybody.
Now, I don't know if this is Maxx Crosby or not, but there's somebody named the Condor.
Uh-oh.
Will you do winners and losers today?
I will not be doing winners and losers today, unfortunately.
Maxx Crosby.
I mean, here's the thing. Crosby, you're always going to be a winner in my book, though. For the first time, I'd probably say he wasn't the best player on defense yesterday for the Raiders. Robert Spillane. I'm telling you right now, if I could build this Raiders defense myself, the video I put out this morning was I would give Robert Spillane a contract extension. If I'm building this defense, I'm building it around a 27-year-old Robert Spillane, and I'm going to build it around a 27-year-old Maxx Crosby. Those guys 100% embody, I think, what a Raider was and what I want a Raider to be. So if I'm building a defense, it's going to be around those two guys right now. Let's go to Just Win, baby. This is actually your jersey right here. I know you want it. I really tried to squeeze in the extra A. Unfortunately, 10 characters is the limit here.
Just Win, baby.
So this is the jersey, but yes, appreciate you showing out, showing love.
SLC Utah, thanks for wearing the Just Win, baby jersey. Thanks for all you do, Chugs. Love the show.
Hey, I mean, Chugs does a lot of great stuff here. I appreciate everyone that takes time out of their day to watch this show. I know I sound horrible right now. Like my dad on my walk into work, he was like, honestly, I don't want to talk to you. You need to save your voice because nobody's going to want to listen to you. I feel like I sound like the frog guy from the Little Rascals.
You sound like a 60-year-old chain smoker. We need to get you that fume.
Well, Jack stole them all, but it's not a vape, so it's not a vape.
Not a vape.
Not a vape. All right, man. Who was the Raiders' MVP against the New York Jets? Obviously, on the offensive side of the football, you can talk about Josh Jacobs because Jacobs is really starting to look the way that he did last season. And go figure, once you get a quarterback that can actually throw the football and you get rid of McDaniels who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, it just creates a lot more flexibility. It keeps the defense guessing, which is one thing that they just simply didn't do. But the fumble with Jacobs was tough. I thought Aidan O'Connell had himself a good game. Maxx Crosby had himself a good game. Robert Spillane was an absolute dog in that one. And, sometimes you don't give the MVP to Robert Spillane. But to me, I mean, he had 7 tackles in that one. He had a sack. He's now has 3 interceptions on the season, which is, it's kind of funny because if you remember in our Madden simulated, he led the Raiders that in the Madden sim with 5 interceptions.
Maybe it was something.
And right now he's got 3 interceptions, which is tied for the most in the NFL at the linebacker position. Like, this is a guy where we sat up here and I was like, man, I don't think he's very good in coverage. And might be one of the most happiest I've been being wrong. I totally missed on the signing of Robert Spillane, and I am happy that I am that wrong on it because that guy has been absolutely insane, dude. He's been amazing. All right, what do you guys think here, though?
I think it's mostly Spillane's.
I think it's Spillane. I see an A.J. Cole is such a weapon in close games from Ventrac.
Spillane.
Which I agree. Like, that was one of those games in Ventrac. I'm actually kind of glad you brought that up because one of my keys to victory before, the game that ended up going down on Sunday night was making the Jets go 75-plus yards. And when you have a kicker like A.J. Cole and you can totally flip the field and make an offense led by Zach Wilson continually try to go 75 yards, you're probably going to win that football game. Let's go to Nico. What's up, my man? Last year, when I went to the Raiders-Pats game, it was 50-50 with the fans. Yesterday, it was 80-20 with Raider fans. Love to see it. Place was popping.
Hell yeah.
Nico, honest question. When Robert Spillane intercepted that football on a scale of 1 to 10, how loud was it? Because I've had a few people send me videos of their reactions. I think some of y'all just freaking the hell out, and some people sent me the reactions to the Spillane doing we'll call it a Mitch impression after the Raiders win or whatnot, and they were literally like, it was so loud. Like, I had a few Raider fans back from their days at the Coliseum that was like, I mean, it wasn't exactly the same, but it gave you like that Coliseum vibe. You're like, oh my God, it is deafening loud
Nico
in here
said,
right now.
Bro, nuts, easily a 10.
I'm telling you, like,
Bro, nuts.
Nico, how many Raiders games did you go to in Oakland? Was it kind of comparable? Because I'm telling you, I heard from a bunch of people that it was comparable to some of the big-time celebrations that went down in Oakland. Now, I get it. If it was an 80-20 split in Oakland, I think we'd probably be a little bit disappointed in that, if we're being real. But seeing Allegiant Stadium back to getting full again, I mean, Mark Davis has got to be looking at that saying, like, I mean, not only are the players happy, not only are we winning football games, but Raider fans are showing up again.
When you take into account also how many people the stadium holds, maybe 80-20 is that 80% is the same amount as the Raider fans that were at the Coliseum. Because this stadium holds more than the Coliseum.
I don't know if it does. I don't know. I bet you the capacity was probably pretty close. Raiders Coliseum capacity. What do you think? 63,000.
At the Coliseum?
Coliseum.
Okay. What about Allegiant?
I mean, honestly, I bet you it's pretty close. 65.
So, yeah, 2,000 more people.
2,000 more people. Oh, no, I get you. I will say, though, being around 2,000 Raider fans gets pretty loud. It does get pretty loud in there. But, Nico, shout out to you, man, again, for pulling up to Red Tail. Had a hell of a time. Nico bought a bottle of Fireball for everyone. We were pouring the shots. We had a hell of a party. It was a lot of fun. And if anybody ended up showing up to Red Tail, don't be afraid. Tag me on IG. Tag me on Twitter. I'm actually going to be sharing some videos and sharing some pictures on today's show here in a little bit. So if you want to get on the show real quick, tag me on IG.
If you want to go to Redtail, chatsports.com/Redtail.
Hey, yeah, let's do it. How many games will the Raiders win this season? We're 5-5. 10, 6-1. Honest question, though. How many games are the Raiders going to win this season? What do you guys think here? I mean, you got Miami, you got Kansas City, you got a tough bye. Vikings, Chargers, Chiefs, Colts, Broncos. Like, it's not going to be an easy stretch.
Dude, if you get into those last 2 games and you're 8-6-1, holy shit.
I'll be real, though. The Colts scare me because the Colts can really run the football, though. You got to give your flowers to the Raiders' defensive tackles, their interior defensive line yesterday.
And
dude, they had a hell of a game. Like, holding Breece Hall to what they did. Jerry Tillery played out of his mind. I mean, I thought Malcolm Kuntz had himself a hell of a game. Like, I am not afraid to sit up here on the show and rip apart anybody if they're not playing well. But I really, really got to give some love to that defense interior because they played well. Like, they played really well. It was arguably the best game that they've played the entire season. And if you're going to rip on them, you also got to be able to give them their flowers. And I think we can all agree the Raiders' defensive line yesterday, shout out to Rob Leonard, has done a really, really good job here. Senior Steve says 9. Chris says 9-7-1. 9-7-1. Leo and Mikey 10. Frederick says they're going to win 14 games this year. I don't know how that's. What, they're losing the AFC Championship game then?
Last night we let the liquor talk.
Venthrak, we held Breece Hall to like 2 yards average. 13 carries, 28 yards, whatever that math is. About 2.2?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. All right, y'all, coming up here on the show, we got 500 people here. If you haven't already, make sure you guys click that like button because coming up, we're going to get into some Raiders playoff chances, and then I'm going to get into Raiders injury news. I'm also going to be very transparent. I am going to try to keep this show a little bit quicker than what I usually do Mondays, and it's simply because my voice is not doing very well, and I want to be able to make sure that I can hold up and get through all the content that I need to be able to get through. And then at the end, if we stay live a little bit longer, we can do it. But Raiders playoff chances, Raiders injury news is kind of what I'm going with there. Carlos, going with Chugs. So 10-6-1. I like it.
They call me Chugstradamus for a reason.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Chugstradamus.
I'm rubbing my crystal balls.
I'm rubbing my crystal boot. What if like you could convince somebody that you could tell the future? Like in the movie or show like That's So Raven, when like she like randomly like would stop and like she would like see a vision. You do that when the bubble hits. That's the secret. Now we know why Chucks can get through it so much.
Marsh. Rebel says hi. Marsh says hi, Rebel. He says hopefully he sees you for Thanksgiving as you are his dad.
Hey, there you go. Also, we got another one coming in here from Venthrak. Newsflash, Raiders have a top 13 defense for scoring. The Raiders' defense has played well, and what's kind of even crazy about that is minus the Bills game, and I get it, the Bills game was absolutely terrible, both sides of the football, but the Raiders' offense only ran 38 plays, so like they were on the field the entire time. Minus that Bills game, you have to be very impressed from what you've seen from this Raiders defense, and then maybe minus the Bears game.
Yeah.
But the last two games with Antonio Pierce, man, this team looks like a legit football team, especially on the defense.
I'll tell you what.
If you would have told me that the Raiders defense this season would be better than the offense by this much, I don't think anybody would have believed you. I don't think anyone would have believed you.
Who would have thought?
All right, y'all. Coming up right now, Raiders playoff chances here on the Raiders Report. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Coming up here on today's show, we're going to look at the Raiders' playoff chances now that they're 5-5 on the season, 2-0 with Antonio Pearson. Let's call a spade a spade. They look like a totally different team since moving on from Josh McDaniels. On top of that, I figured we would look at just the overall NFL playoff picture before Monday Night Football tonight. We'll also get into what the playoff picture could look like if the Bills win or if the Broncos win, but I don't anticipate that the Broncos are going to win. Now, remember, y'all, if you want more Raiders videos, if you're a real one, hit that subscribe button. If you sound like this, if you sound the way that I do from screaming your lungs out over the weekend, then that's why I want you to hit that subscribe button. And also, I want to give some shout-outs to the people that during our post-game reaction show after the Raiders win, I said, hey, man, go show Robert Spillane some love, because if you don't think players watch this show, you're tripping. So here were some people that I saw spamming 41, showing their flowers out there to Robert Spillane, Juan Hernandez, Saucy Raider, love that name, Robert Moberg, Zero, what's up, and then Bird Dog 640 Bird. Y'all are real ones, and if you rep the silver and black, hit subscribe. And if you don't like the show after a week, you can go on and bounce. Costs absolutely nothing. So here we go. The Raiders' playoff chances, as it stands right now, 5% chance of getting in. I know, it's like the movie. So you're saying there's a chance. I am saying there's a chance. And this number's obviously going to change a lot, right? Like the Raiders still have 7 games left on their schedule. A lot of different things can happen. The number, obviously, the more you win, the better chance you have in. To me, though, I look at this as you can really only lose 2 games. Maybe you can lose 3 if you get lucky in some other areas. So as it stands right now, according to the New York Post, This is kind of how the percentages work, and they change again. They're going to change every day. It goes off of like if you were to run 100,000 simulations on every game. If the Raiders go 12-5, they're 100% in. If they finish the year at 11-6, 99% chance. 10-7 is the magic number there, 82% chance. And then you drop down to 9-8. I don't know. I should have done 10-6-1. Next show, Chugs. I'm going to do that specifically just for you. 12% chance here at 9-8, and then 8-9, less than 1%. So essentially, you got to be right around 10 wins. You might be able to squeak in if you win 9. So right now, as it stands, here is the Raiders' remaining schedule. You got the Miami Dolphins in Miami at 6-3. However, the Dolphins are 6-0 against teams with a losing record. They are 0-3 against teams with a winning record. So maybe the Raiders are able to squeak one out here, but winning in Miami is never easy. Kansas City's never an easy game. We know that. Then you get a Week 13 bye. The Vikings also have a Week 13 bye, so that's going to be an interesting game. Week 14 against the Vikings, who are playing very solid football. I believe they've won 5 games in a row. Then Week 15, short week, Thursday Night Football. I see this as a revenge game. I want to take down the Chargers at home. Week 16 at Kansas City on Christmas. The Raiders have actually played better in Arrowhead of late. Week 17 then against the Indianapolis Colts, and then Week 18 against the Broncos. I don't know what the Raiders' record's going to be at the end of the year, but to me, they are playing together. They're playing motivated football. And as far as I'm concerned, in the NFL, anybody can beat anybody. And you need to be playing your best football at the right time. And right now, I think we can all agree, the Raiders are playing the best football they have. And then there's that old saying, defense wins championships. Holy shit. The Raiders' defense is a legit defense for the first time in a long time. So I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's show, and I want to know from everybody watching right now. So you're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. I want you to scroll on down. Let me know, what will the Raiders' record be this season? Coming up next here on the show, I got an NFL playoff picture. So we're going to look at this from as it stands right now that I am recording this video, what the AFC playoff picture kind of looks like here, the teams leading their divisions, and then teams that are right there in the wild card race, because right now there's like 13, 14 teams that have a shot to make the playoffs, which is, we knew the AFC was going to be competitive, and it's going to be competitive. And it's a time where you're going to have to nut up or shut up, and I'm hoping that Antonio Pierce can get this team to nut up a little bit. If you like peanuts, guess what? You can get some with your Factor meals, and they're sponsoring today's show. And if anybody out there is like, feels like me on a Monday when I did Sunday Night Football, I'm telling you right now, all I want to do, go home, I'm going to pop one of these in the microwave, and I'm going to be eating really, really great. And you guys can too. So if you're too busy this fall to cook but still want to make sure that you're eating well with Factor, you can skip that extra trip to the grocery store and all the chopping, the prepping, and especially the cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality that you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy, then get back to crushing your goals. So nation, head to factormeals.com/RaidersChat50 and use code RaidersChat50 to get 50% off. That's code RaidersChat50 at factormeals.com/RaidersChat50 to get 50% off. This November, get Factor, enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. I actually think, Jeremy, what we should do for one of these like live shows, we should try to get Factor to sponsor one of our live shows and do like a food review on some of like the most popular food items there, because actually the thing that I love about Factor, especially this time of the year, is like they do like seasonal things, and I love fall. I love fall food. I love like different types of pumpkin, like all that kind of stuff, and you can get that type of seasonal food with Factor. I want to do that, so we're going to mark that down. We're going to do a food review here on the Raiders Report sometime soon. All right, now let's look at the AFC playoff picture as it stands right now. Like I said, a lot of teams that are still in the hunt, and remember, I am recording this video before Monday Night Football, so Denver and Buffalo, they have still yet to play, but it's Kansas City at number 1, Baltimore is sitting there at number 2, Jags, Dolphins. As much as I would love to be able to sit up here and say, hey, the Raiders are going to win the AFC West, I am going to be a little bit of a realist here, and I'm going to be looking at the wild card. So 5, 6, and 7, and you got the Steelers, the Browns at 6 and 3, maybe the biggest surprise team in the NFL right now. And as far as I'm concerned, I think C.J. Stroud deserves to have that conversation to be not only Rookie of the Year but MVP, with the Texans sitting at 5 and 4. Then you got the Bills and the Bengals. I mean, it's crazy that they're not in this hunt right now. Indy, Las Vegas sitting there at 5-5, Chargers at 4-5. A lot of different stuff can happen. There's no doubt about it. But this is going to be a very, very close race. And you know what? You need, as Nico Laz would probably say, you can't win a duck race unless you're in the duck race. And right now, the Raiders are in the duck race. I don't know if they're going to win, but I'm saying that there is a chance right now. So I looked up the playoff chances for all the teams that I just showed you, and here are the playoff chances. Again, this is according to the Post. So the Kansas City Chiefs are at 99%. The Baltimore Ravens are sitting at 89% chance to make it. Jacksonville sitting right here at about 74%. Miami at 90%. The Steelers at 60%. Browns 83%. The Texans at 52%. The Bengals at 42%. And you're going to notice the Raiders there is by far the lowest compared to where they are with Buffalo, Indy, Chargers. Heck, even the Jets still have a better chance to make the playoffs. And it also goes based off of strength of schedule. The way I look at this, though, is the Raiders control their own destiny. They have a lot of AFC games coming up here, and if you're able to string together a few tough wins, because I know the Jets aren't very good, but they have a hell of a defense, one of the best in the league. But the other reason why I'm a believer is because when you look at that Sunday night football game, right, and I don't care what anybody tells me, if Josh McDaniels is the head coach of the Raiders on Sunday night football, they lose that football game. And to me, Antonio Pierce made ballsy calls at the right moments, didn't bring their A game. Hell, I don't even know if they brought their B game. And the fact that they were able to win with their C game shows that this is a different football team, and I think that they really, really do truly believe. So how about this? Let's have a little bit of fun with this one. And I'm just curious of what you guys have to say, and I'm going to play a little bit of a game here. So just like I gave shout-outs earlier in the show to people at Spam41, I'm going to take my favorite answers from this video, and I'm going to put them on a future video here on the Raiders Report. So if the Raiders make the playoffs, I will blank. I want to see some crazy, outlandish comments that are going to make Chugs and I laugh when we do our Thursday night football watch party. Sound good? If the Raiders make the playoffs, I will blank. Let me know down in the comments. All right, so also, though, NFL Week 10, Monday Night Football is tonight. And the reason why that we're going to talk about this game here real quick for the playoff is because of the Buffalo Bills currently sitting at 5-4. And, you know, if the Denver Broncos are able to win this game, get to 4-5, I mean, holy shit. Them taking down Kansas City, and now if they're able to take down Buffalo, that should be all the more reason why you should look at me and be like, yeah, anybody can win at any game. So what I'm going to show you guys real quick here is the playoff picture if the Bills win, and then I'm going to show you the playoff picture, what it looks like if the Denver Broncos win. So this is, again, if the Bills end up winning on Monday Night Football, they actually jump the Houston Texans. They go to 6-4 at number 7 there. Houston drops down. Cincinnati's right there with them, and everything else remains the same, and Denver obviously sitting at 3-6. However, if the Broncos win, then they're going to be right there in a little bit of a tie with the Chargers. Jets all sitting there, and then the Buffalo Bills, they drop down to 5-5. Now remember, Buffalo does have the win over the Raiders. However, it does go based off of toughest remaining schedule, and I believe the Raiders might have a more difficult schedule as it stands right now than the Buffalo Bills. Now, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys turn on those notifications, because anytime we drop a video, I want you to get notified. So just like when somebody sends you a text message, if you click that bell on the very, very bottom, you'll get a little message like, hey, the Raiders Report's going live, or hey, the Raiders Report at 1 a.m. is going live for Josh McDaniels, or hey, we're going live for Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going live Thursday for Thursday Night Football, which that Bengals-Ravens game, Bengals got to win, but honestly, if I'm being real with you, I think I might want the Ravens to win that game. Now looking at it's going to be an interesting one. Don't miss it. And then we're going to be live Sunday against the Miami Dolphins, but if you turn on your notifications after you hit subscribe, you're not going to miss the content that we drop here, and I bet you have a pretty good shot of getting a shout out here on this show. So I am getting closer to ending this one up here, but to me, this is kind of how I wanted to wrap up this show real quick. It was more of a, in conclusion, I know it's not going to be an easy road for the Raiders to make the playoffs, but I believe in Antonio Pierce, and I believe in this Raiders team again, which is why I think it's a thing where a lot of Raider fans haven't been able to say in a long time that they really honestly believe in this Raiders team. They believe in Antonio Pierce. They believe in each other, and that is a very, very powerful message. When you can get a group of people that can put their mind together and you see how motivated they are and how mentally strong they are, That's not an easy thing to crack. And I think, it kind of reminds me of when the Raiders, lost Henry Ruggs for the year. They lost John Gruden, and they might not have had as much talent to make the playoffs, but that type of moment there brought them together as a team. It brought all of them together. It helped Rich Bisaccia. It helped everybody. And I kind of get that vibe again here. So guess what? You can laugh at me all you want for believing, but I'm going to freaking believe that this team can make the playoffs. Now, the next thing that I'm going to show you all here is some of the fun that we had at Red Tail. I got some videos. I got some pictures, and shout out to everybody that took time out of their day. I bet you we had probably close to 100, 120 people that showed up at Red Tail, had some drinks, talked a little Raiders. But so what I did here is right when we got some bottles, we had the nation pull up, did a little bit of a round of shots. Fireball, of course, was the way that we had to do it, but we saw a lot of different people there. And if anybody wants to make a reservation to Red Tail, please don't be shy. Go to chatsports.com/redtail. They do really awesome deals, especially, honestly, on Mondays, man. They were really, really crazy deals. So I know we have a few pictures that I'd like to be able to roll through as well. On top of that, the other fun part about Red Tail was Raider Cody and I, we were playing basketball against some of the other Raider fans out there. And we were honestly like running the table, which is one of the reasons why I like Red Tail, because you can shoot hoops. They have like a game room. They have like Dance Dance Revolution. They have like the grown men beer pong, and tons of people showed out and had one hell of a time. So if you ended up making it to Red Tail, again, what I want you to do is tag me on Instagram, tag me on Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. I would like to be able to show more of the pictures from the event that we had, because Chugs and I would like to be able to do more events like this in the future. So, we had a lot of different people pull up, taking a lot of really cool pictures here with some old school Raider fans. This guy actually, unfortunately, I don't remember the name, but my dad had such a good time. I was like, oh man, we were relating on a whole different level. And then this one was really cool because, when you meet some like your old school Raider fans, well, that's Sons of Alec. He's been around for like 5,000 subscribers, being able to like meet the entire family. I mean, it was an unbelievable experience from top to bottom. But seriously, if we got a picture together at Red Tail, tag me on IG. I'm going to try to do my best here to be posting some videos just throughout the week, if you will, to show some love to the different people that ended up pulling up here. So again, the Raiders, they do have a chance to make the playoffs. I get it. It's maybe not the best chance, but they said the exact same thing back in 2021. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to keep on believing. And if you believe as well, spam just believe, baby. Will the Raiders make the playoffs? That's the million-dollar question now. Give me a yes. Give me a no.
Hillary Govinda said, "That's me."
The Govinda tribe. Shout out to the Govinda tribe, man.
Also, I know Robert Jansen was very confused because I hit him with a pause in the middle of your segment. Robert, that was a sus statement. He said, him and Nico were going back and forth.
Yep.
And this is, and I quote, Robert Jansen said, "Yeah, Nico, but I'm licking my chops to get to their crappy D."
I don't know what that means. That's it's an interesting statement. No doubt. That one's
I'm licking my chops to get to their crappy D.
That's an interesting statement right there. All right, Chugs, I need you to give some shout-outs. I'm actually going to put on another jersey here real quick.
I'll take the tuna.
I'll take the tuna. Pause. You got it.
Here we go. Will the Raiders make the playoffs? Yes or no? Let me know down in the comments section. Nico, hey, yo! I love you, Robert. I just had to. That whenever I saw that, because I gauge the comments whenever I'm producing, I was just like, that is hilarious. Vinthrak, I think Mitch already read this, but Raiders have a top 13 defense in scoring. Newsflash, Raider gains. I'm not wishing this on any team, but look at how many of those teams are one injured player away from being out of the playoffs. By being as balanced as the Raiders are, they surprisingly have some favor. Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it's like with every team. Like, yeah, like if the Raiders didn't you're on now, Mitch.
Yeah.
But
no, I was just saying in the back. I'm like, anybody can say that. Like, if the Raiders lose Maxx Crosby, I'm sorry. My belief in this team making the playoffs is probably going to go down a little bit. But then again, sometimes injuries, though, they can bring teams closer together, and they're going to create more opportunities for people.
If the Raiders lost, Trevon Merrick or Marcus Epps on the back end, that'd be a pretty tough pill to swallow.
Also, shout out to Blue Richards. Blue was one of the Raider fans that pulled up to Red Tail. Got to meet her. Got to meet her significant other. Had a lot of fun with Blue. And Blue partied for a long time. She was probably one of the last ones there to help us close that place down. So shout out to Blue.
Did y'all sing Closing Time?
I really wanted to, but at that point, my voice was already not good.
Yeah.
So if you were there though, next time we'll sing it. We'll sing it.
I'm like, hey, can you turn the music off?
Yeah.
We're gonna sing a song.
Rebel Montana. I'm hearing my son Marshall is punching the air. I think Marshall is he understands that the Giants are bad, and realistically, they might go down as one of the worst offenses in the NFL history. That's how bad they are right now. It's brutal to watch, but that's what happens when you start Danny DeVito. You know what I mean?
But besides Raiders players, do you think Marshall Green is most talked about on this channel other than Raiders players?
He's got to be up there.
It goes past Raiders players. Next on the list, I feel like it's like Marsh.
Probably up there. Yeah, I know Rolly's a fan favorite. He's done a lot of good here. Trizzy's a fan favorite here. Even Seeps. I think the nation likes Seeps because he can party. Besides that, though,
the nation likes their little sip of Seeps.
Well, sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, just a sip.
It's he's like a little ginger snap. You know what I mean?
A little ginger snap.
That's all you need. What up, Sir Chai? In Virginia, repping the Raiders, playoff bound. How many people have Raiders gear on today? How many people right now, when you woke up this morning, you're like, I'm wearing my Raiders gear? The amount of Raiders stuff that I have in my closet that I just haven't worn in a long time, or I guess really on Mondays. I don't wear a lot of Raiders gear on Mondays unless they end up winning the game.
Evan Fullerton says, we love Harrison Graham.
There you go. Shout out to Harry Graham.
Dad of the office.
Dad now, yeah.
Yeah. We call him Daddy Graham now.
Papa Graham.
Daddy chill.
Yikes. It sounds like DK. Brian Darr, what up, man? DJ Loaded. Venthrak, I see you. Blue Richards in the chat. G Money 24/7. Brian Darr, it's all I wear. I respect it. Unknown Raider guy, got it. Ark says me. Silver pants, black shirt. Dude. Are they gray pants, or you're like, no, they're silver? Because that's different. When I picture silver pants, I picture leather, skin tight, silver.
I just imagine, we have so many vets in the chat. They're just going into battle, and they have a Raiders jersey on, and you just see a bunch of Maxx Crosbys running across the battlefield.
I'll tell you this right now, that'd be scary.
All screaming Raiders.
Nico Laz is just Raiders! In the front of that. Dude, that'd be interesting, man.
PG.
What's up, PG? Mitch, is it better if the Bills or Donkeys win for our wild card?
I think it's better if the Broncos win.
Yeah, it's better if the Broncos win. So, I look at it like this. I'm not really scared of the Broncos, and if it comes down to it, Week 18, the Raiders and the Broncos have the exact same record. I'm going to bet on the Raiders, right? 7 straight wins.
Nico says, not tactical, but I'm for it.
He's like, honestly, it's a horrible idea. But you know what? For the nation.
Raiders! Oh, wow.
You're like, all right, let's get out of all the camo. Let's be more, people can see us easier. And let's just give up our location.
Or on a night mission, wearing the Raiders' black jerseys.
Which apparently is going to be the reason why they lose in Miami, according to Carter. Carter Rimjob in the chat. We got 600 people watching the show right now. If you haven't already, Make sure you guys click that like button. Believe it or not, it does help us out. I've been told if you hit the like button, my throat will feel better.
Hashtag coat your throat.
Hashtag coat your throat. If anybody can name the company that's their actual hashtag, I'll give you a shout out right now. And here's the thing. There's going to be somebody that Googles it. I don't know what's going to come up. I'm just going to warn you. Literally. I don't know. If you Googled hashtag coat your throat right now.
Just don't be on your company's Wi-Fi.
That's true. I mean, luckily for us, ours doesn't work, so that's not really a problem. But we're okay. Yeah, don't look it up. Thank you, Robert. Vix is a great guess. It's not
it.
It's not it, though. It's not it. Godzilla says, I'm going to name my next dog Spillane. A win is a win from Jarrett Watson. Somebody said Halls. It's not Halls. NyQuil, not them either. You guys are on the right track, though. You're on the right track. Throat coat. Nope. We'll see if anybody gets it. I'm curious.
I don't think anybody will.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they're close.
Pepto-Bismol.
No, that does coat your throat.
Luden, Smith Brothers,
Marshall Green.
Theraflu.
We got one.
Oh, yeah?
We got two.
There we go.
We got three. Ricola.
I was going to say, instead of screaming Raiders, we might just scream Ricola.
Ricola.
Yeah, Ricola is the correct answer. If you want to know the company, hashtag what?
I feel like you said that weird.
What did I say?
You said Ricola.
Ricola.
It's Ricola.
I mean, I think if you were to just read it like a normal human being, it would be.
I feel like
Ricola.
you emphasized the CK sound.
But the name is
Ricola.
But the name is just Ricola.
It's Ricola.
All right, so it's Ricola.
Yeah. That's what they say in their commercial. Ricola.
I mean, I guess it's like one of those things. Like, I only know what it sounds like when you say it the way they do. You know what I mean? I mean, that'd be like me calling you like Jeremy. It's Jeremy.
But you're saying it different. You're saying Ricola.
See, now you're just getting ridiculous. Now you're just getting ridiculous. Oh man, coming up here on the Raiders Report.
Oh my goodness.
We got a few super chats. I'm delusional. I'm so tired from the weekend, and I'm just
a win is a win is a win.
I bet you I'm riding right now on 12 hours of sleep since Friday.
Arlen,
and half of those are on the airport.
We beaten the fish. Raiders. Mitch, do we get sushi on Sunday?
I mean, if we do.
Sushi and wasabi.
Sushi and wasabi.
Wasabi bombs for 50.
And we eat it off Jack's back.
Where our gong is, usually it's just Jack laying down
in
the
the
whole...
dolphin suit.
In the dolphin suit.
Oh, my God.
Just the front is open, just sushi laid down.
Is that a fume? Dude. Oh, I can't handle this right now. I'm delusional. Though, I would be kind of down for something, or maybe get like Swedish fish.
Yeah.
Could do something like that.
I kind of like the sushi idea.
The sushi idea? Let's get like the largest tray and then do what? We'll eat some sushi?
And we take the wasabi, mix it with a bunch of soy sauce. We can do wasabi bombs for like 50.
Oh, my Lord.
Just a little shot of wasabi bomb.
That sounds... do you like wasabi?
Mixed in with soy sauce, not too bad, but only a little bit. Like, too much, that'll clear you out.
Yeah, dude, that's...
That'll hashtag uncoat your throat.
Yeah, I don't know. I like ginger. I will admit that.
Dude, the pickled ginger's bomb.
Yeah.
Do you like sushi? Yes or no?
Love it.
Let me know down in the chat. Do you like sushi?
My dad had sushi for the very first time this weekend.
Did you tell them what kind of sushi you got?
So we did...
The most expensive sushi in the world.
That's not true.
It's not, maybe not true.
So yeah, it's not true. But there's guaranteed a sushi roll that's more expensive than what we got. So essentially, since we partnered with Red Tail over the weekend, the restaurant right next to it also works with Red Tail. Shout out to Fuhu, Fuhu.
Fuhu.
Yeah,
Shout out to Fahu.
I think that's how you say it. And they gave us a free dinner for my dad's birthday, so it was really, really much appreciated. And we got the sushi there. They sell a sushi roll that's 8 pieces, and it's $150. And it's got lobster with Wagyu beef, foie gras, caviar, literally like these like gold flakes on it. Yeah, I mean it was heavy. It was very good. But see, I like sushi that's more refreshing. You know what I'm talking about? Like that was heavy sushi.
Martin said no to sushi. Do they have sushi in England?
Fish and chips.
Petey just looked at me like he gives me this look a lot. He looked at me like I was really dumb.
Yep.
Like, if he was Chris Broussard, he might have said something bad.
Oh, my Lord.
League villains.
You can read it.
What's going on, fellas? In your guys' opinion, what route can we take to replace Peters next year? Is it just us, or does it seem he plays half-ass a lot? No. This is the problem with Peters, and I'll go ahead and give my opinion real quick. Peters was only good because of his ball skills and his ability to get takeaways. Without that, Peters is a very mid corner who can't tackle.
Yeah, I think the reason why he gets the attention that he does is because you usually see a corner that tries to tackle. I'm telling you right now, here's my next joke. I might be able to tackle better than Marcus Peters in the open field.
I mean,
I'm kidding on that one, but to me, I want to see the effort. Like, Peters just doesn't put any effort in whatsoever. Like, I still think he's doing a really good job in terms of, like, coverage. Like, he can still be a reliable coverage corner. Yeah, he plays too far back. Like, to me, Peters still thinks that he's probably, like, in his prime, and he doesn't have, the recoverability as, like, he used to. He has still had some opportunities, made some big plays, but the problem has been he just doesn't want to tackle. Like, I'm almost curious if they're like, hey, man, we don't want you to get hurt. He's making business decisions every single play, but he is out there. He played 66 snaps, which was the most tied with like 4 or 5 other Raiders players out there. The Raiders are going to have to come up with a plan to get another corner. They will need one. I mean, they're going to have a lot of free agents, no doubt about it. But to me, Peters has been good, but he has brought that swagger, which this defense needs, and I think it does go out there and show. But yeah, there's sometimes where he's just like, I got my swagger back. There's sometimes you're just like, he has no desire whatsoever to make that tackle. Yeah, sorry.
Don't F with this guy.
What up, James? Can our Raiders keep winning purely off emotion?
Sweet.
I don't think that they've won just purely off of emotion. Like, the Jets are a good football team. They have one of the best defenses in the league. Like, the defense continually has played well, and the defense has played well, like I said, for most of the season. And they even started to play well at the back half of last year, if you go back and look at a lot of the numbers there. So, to me, the defense has been playing solid football. Looks like their running game's getting going. Yeah, the offensive line struggled, but there was also times in the run blocking game yesterday that I thought the offensive line got it going. Aidan O'Connell, a good quarterback, taking care of the football. He had a bad pick yesterday, but was able to bounce back, which not a lot of rookies are able to do. You have a lot of talent at your receiver standpoint. Michael Mayer, you're seeing him get better and better right in front of your eyes. He's gotten a lot better as a blocker. He is a good red zone option. This team's a good team. They're not a great team. Now, anybody can win on any given Sunday, but to me, like, they're not just winning off purely emotion. They're winning because they have some talent. They have a guy who knows what the hell he's doing at the...
You know that song?
What?
Sweet emotion. Go down, nobody cares.
Yeah,
Nico Laz.
I'll tell you what, there's nobody that updates their picture more than Nico.
Sent you the video/pic I had from Redtail on IG.
Oh yeah, Nico. I'll check it out. I'll put it on some future Raiders shows here, which again, that's kind of what I'm hoping to do, just going forward. Is just get more and more pictures here from the nation.
Yeah, Jeffrey got it. Aerosmith. You don't like Aerosmith?
They're okay. It's older music. Like, to me, I played it on Guitar Hero. Like, that's how I know that song. But I'm a more of modern music type of guy. I'm going to be real with you. More modern music. Let's go to the next one. We're rolling in here.
Blaine. Craig.
I appreciate all that you do to keep us informed. Boarding the plane now, so I got to sign off.
Hit us with the bang, Blaine.
As soon as you sit down on your seat.
Raiders. Bang!
Dude, I'm telling you what. Or do it right when the woman is like going through the instructions of like when the mask comes down. Like she's like, as soon as she goes like this, you scream bang.
Bang! No, do it whenever they're doing the cart with the drinks.
Oh.
What would you like to drink? Bang! Dr.
Or
Pepper, please.
Do it in the bathroom.
Some dude's banging by himself in the bathroom.
Bro, I hit the Mile High Club by myself.
John Scheffler.
What up, Sheffy? If we cut Jimmy next year and have to take on his dead money, how much dead money do we have coming off the books next year? So I've talked about this a little bit. I did a show on it, I'm going to say on Saturday. So if you want to go check out that video from Saturday, a lot more information in it and basically why I'm predicting the Raiders end up cutting him. What were you saying?
Nico said he has a video of you. You were telling me the story. He said he has a video of you doing push-ups with those frat guys that you smoked in beer pong.
Well, they were so lame, Nico. Like, Nico, how lame were they? Like, the guy's like, oh, loser does push-ups. And I was like, if you just want to do push-ups because there's a bunch of girls waiting in line, like, go ahead, like, rip out a few push-ups. So I was like, this guy was like such a cocky dude. We smoked him in beer pong, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get in there. I'm going to rep out 40 push-ups with him. I'm like, this dude was lame. He was lame, Nico. I mean, let's be real. He was lame. But, no, anyway, back to Jimmy Garoppolo. You can't cut him the normal way. You're going to have to do it as a post-June 1st cut. And the way that Garoppolo's contract is structured is he gets his contract, I want to say he gets like 11-something million guaranteed. 11 million something guaranteed 5 days after the very first league year. So, again, that's March 13th. They have to do it before March 19th. But if they designate him as a post-June 1st cut, they end up saving, it's like $13 million. Yes, you're going to have to eat $15 million, and you're not going to get that money until after June 1st. But if the Raiders cut him before June 1st, they end up eating $28 million, and they save only $200K. So you're going to do it as a post-June 1st cut, and that's what will end up happening. What up, Patrick B? To quote Jake Taylor, there's only one thing left to do. Win the whole effing thing. What movie is that from, Mitch? So here's my guess.
You know it. I know you've seen it.
Okay. Never Back Down. Oh, that's Jake Tyler, isn't it? I think the main character in Never Back Down's...
Not sure.
I think... I don't know, then.
I'll give you one clue.
All right,
It's a baseball movie.
I don't know if I've seen it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen it.
Oh,
yeah, see, I'm looking. I've never seen it.
You've never seen Major League?
Nope.
So basically, if you've never seen Major League, it's Ted Lasso in the 90s, but baseball.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you seen Ted Lasso?
Yes.
It's the exact same plot, and it's hilarious because I didn't realize until I finished watching Ted Lasso, and I saw a TikTok where somebody's like, anybody else realize Ted Lasso is just Major League but soccer? It's basically the same thing. There's a woman who owns the team, wants the team to do bad, wants to sabotage the team, then they start doing good.
I mean, I'll check it out. Like, again, I'll be real. I just never watched movies when I was a kid. Like, my dad wouldn't let me do it.
Nico Glass, Wild Thing. What's
key difference? You like her
in
Ted Lasso?
Well, at the end.
Not at the well,
In
the
the middle.
beginning,
I guess in the middle.
the first season.
The beginning, you don't really like her.
Well,
I don't know.
it goes a little bit different. Like, if you're just looking at the first season.
All right, should I watch Major League? Y for yes.
It's a
N for
really
no.
good movie.
Hold on.
He's never seen it.
I've never seen it. I told you, I don't watch movies. I wasn't allowed to watch TV
That's
as a
a great
kid.
movie.
Like, the amount of movies that out. Yeah, that's another whole story.
Yes, you should watch it.
All right, so apparently I have to watch Major League. I'll give you guys my homework assignment on it. It's either that or if only there was somebody in the office that did movie reviews and I could just go watch a review from them.
PD, Major League? The movie, yes or no? Huh?
The movie's too high?
Is that from the movie?
I guess I don't know.
Okay, yeah. I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't get the reference.
Okay. Well, hey, I'll have to check it out. I'll tell Alex that we want to watch it. I mean, here's the thing. Like, the amount of movies that she's like, oh, I've seen that. I legitimately, I was not allowed to watch TV or movies when I was a kid.
I feel like
Go out in the yard and play.
I feel like Major League, for me, goes into that category of, like, movies that are on TNT or TBS that I would flip to, and it would be, like, 30 minutes in, and I'd be like, oh, I'll watch the rest of this movie.
I'll check it out. Again, like, Richie was a strict dude. He's kind of soft now, and he was really saucy at Red Tail. I'll tell you what, Richie had a few fireball shots, and when I say a few, I mean 2 o'clock type of fireball shots. What up, James?
Other than Jacoby, we need to lose these Patriots.
Oh, wow, this is kind of a big NFL news. The Eagles just hosted Anthony Barr. It's kind of a big move. Potentially. Interesting.
Interesting.
Other than Jacoby, we need to lose these Patriots. Like, there's some players that are still, I think, going to be able to help you out, and there's still different players like from, you know,
like the
certain
Brandon
regimes.
Bolden types.
I don't know what Brandon Bolden's doing on the team.
I saw him on a couple punts.
That's all he does. He's a special teams guy. Let's pay the 5th best running back on your team. The 5th best running back on your team to just be on special teams. Also, Jason Pierre-Paul worked out with the Saints. Interesting.
I give that 1.5 thumbs up.
7. I mean, imagine having 7 fingers. 7.5.
Just think what I can do.
You my strong hand.
My germs. What movie is that from?
Oh man, that's a great movie.
My Germs. What movie is that from?
God. What's funny is he's like that. Like that actor is that guy. I feel like in every movie he does.
Have you seen Schitt's Creek?
Oh yeah,
He's hilarious in that.
he is amazing in Schitt's Creek. Ah, dude, I missed the quote from Ventrac. My germs. I mean, I think that's about as good enough. My germs.
My Germs.
Raider Swagger, what up, man? Irvin, just showing some love on this Victory Monday. Appreciate you guys. Raiders. You know, man, seriously, thank you. I appreciate when people take time out of their day to watch what we do. When people send in a few super chats, I mean.
Tell that motherfucker I appreciate him.
Tell them, I mean. Tell them. That's a great skit. Great skit. But, like, this weekend, you know, I had a few Raider fans. I literally kind of LOL'd, and some Raider fans were like, yo, I want to give you $100, you know, just like, and let's bang it Red Tail type of thing. And I was like, well, let's save it for the Raiders Report because the show's about giving back to the nation. Like, I'm not going to do that stuff at Red Tail. I mean, yeah, we'll slam a beer here and there, but, like.
I bang for free whenever you meet me in person.
There you go. There you go. Everyone's like, we got to get Chugs there next time. But seriously, man, when you show love to Chugs and I, you're showing love to the Raiders Report, you're showing love to Chat Sports, you're showing love to the nation, and all this kind of stuff just helps grow the show more and more, which is
what's
a beautiful
cool
thing.
about Chat Sports and just all of our channels is like the amount of love that we get back from fans and from, you know, just I wouldn't even say fans, just people that are members of the community. I know PD with Browns got a huge super chat yesterday, and he was, you know, elated to the moon.
Literally crying. Literally crying. Brandon Bolden was hyping up the crowd yesterday after kickoffs. He's the $2 million hype man.
Brandon Bolden seems like the key guy who he has a towel and he's next to the bench doing this. Like on third down, he's like, get up. Yeah.
I mean, I think Brandon Bolden at halftime, I think he's just the T-shirt cannon guy. Like, I don't think he
Bolden
actually
takes off his pads and he's like, who wants an XXLT? Everybody's acting like they're diamonds.
A 2XL shirt that I'm never going to wear. Let's go. Oh, man. I mean, if they needed a $2 million hype man, Sign Chugs and I up.
Dude, I would do it for half.
I would throw my arm out waving that towel so hard. Maybe that's what happened to Jimmy Garoppolo. Though, there was funny, the amount of times you would look over at Jimmy G and Brian Hoyer. They looked mad that the Raiders won yesterday.
Maybe we just get Brandon Bolden like a pirate costume with maybe like a eye patch, and he's like a Raider.
But
He
here's
just
the
like
thing, though.
he just walks
Is he?
around the stadium.
I think that might get people mad. I feel like one of the players that's the least Raider is Brandon Bolden. Like when I hear Brandon Bolden's name, I think of Josh McDaniels' regime. I do. Now Garoppolo, it's probably Garoppolo, Brian Hoyer, and then Brandon Bolden, the three biggest Patriots on that roster right now. Like, yeah. All right, y'all. We got some injury news that we got to get up to, and then I'm probably gonna bounce on out of here. My voice is going. What? What is that? I don't know what that is. I don't. That's insane. All right, well, I just learned something new today. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I think of fluffer, I think of like fluffer nutter, like the sandwich with like peanut butter and marshmallow. But now it makes sense. Some nuts, some fluff in there. Yikes! I don't know if I'll ever be able to eat another one. You gotta toast it though. You gotta toast it. All right, Nico. Peace out, my brother. Have a good one. Big homie, I see you. Blue
All right.
Richards, it's all love.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to get into this injury news, and then I see the super from Danny. We'll get to that after, and then we'll probably get ready to wrap this up or fluff it up. Either one is probably the same. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Coming up here on today's show, we're going to get into some injury updates that are going to impact Week 11 Raiders Dolphins. I'm going to tell you what's the latest going on with Amik Robertson. Is he going to be playing in this game? Colton Miller, is he going to be able to suit up after a kind of a rough offensive line game against the New York Jets? And then the Miami Dolphins star running back Davante, and is he going to be playing against the Silver and Black? That's all coming up on today's show. But to make sure that you never miss anything going on around the Raiders, to make sure you never miss anything, whether it's injury news, rumors, watch parties, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. And I want to give some shout-outs to some real ones in the chat because, man, we've been rocking and rolling on this show for basically it seems like ever since Josh McDaniels was fired. And I want to give some shout-outs to people that are real ones to me. And a real one is when I ask you guys a question on the show, people go down in the comments, they answer it. But especially, I saw 5 answers on my last video that I did that were very articulate, very well thought out of, and actually put time into the question that I asked, which I'm telling you, I see the questions, I see the comments that you guys put in there. So I want to show some love to Juan Rodriguez, Big Word, Steven, Gary, Dylan, much love to all of y'all. It's definitely not unnoticed here on the Raiders Report. All right, let's talk about Amik Robertson now because really scary situation that ended up happening. Robertson left Sunday Night Football after getting kneed in the back of the head by Breece Hall. Breece tried to hurdle out in the bounds, and then, again, it was a scary thing. He got hit right in the back of the crown, and then Amik was left in the fencing position. If you don't know what the fencing position is, I'll kind of explain it here in just a second. But he was able to walk off the field, which that was a good sign, and yes, he needed help. But anytime you see a player and they go down the way that Amik Robertson ended up going down, I mean, it makes you just kind of sit back here and realize, there's a lot more to this than just football. Obviously, I hope Amik's okay. I want to see him back out on the field here really, really soon. But the fencing position is this. I'm not going to show a picture of what happened to Amik, but to give you better clarification of how severe the injury was, I think this was the right way to do it. When a person experiences an impact that is strong enough to cause traumatic brain injury, such as a concussion, their arms often go into an unnatural position. The position is the forearms extend and they're flexed, usually in the air, follows the impact, and is known as the fencing repose position. It lasts up to several seconds after the collision. So all I want you guys to do is this. I'm not going to sit up here and say whether or not Amik Robertson is going to be playing this week, but I know this. Concussions can be tricky, and when you see a player go down like that, and I don't even look at these guys as players. When you cover a team, when you follow a team as much as you are, Raider Nation, man, we say it's family. And if you're repping that shield, you're part of my family. So seeing Amik go down like that, especially because Amik's a player that it's hard not to root for him. Dude is an absolute dog. Dude is the type of guy that's going to run through a wall for Antonio Pierce. Dude's the type of guy that I want to be able to build this defense up with some players that have that depth like Amik is, because he goes out there and he gives you 110% every single time. So if you guys could, I don't know if Amik's going to watch this show. I hope Amik's doing well, but please spam 21 down below. I really, really hope to see 21 out there on the field soon. All right, y'all. I would be shocked if Amik ended up playing against the Miami Dolphins. So because of that, because of everything that the concussion protocol is, what I'm going to talk about now is if Amik is not able to go against Miami, who are going to be some other players that the Raiders could potentially look at. And then, honestly, there's a guy right now that I think that the Raiders have got their eyes on because he was just cut today. So in terms of snaps against the Jets, Amik got 18. Tyler Hall, I thought, played himself a pretty solid game. I expect to see a little bit more out of him. You're probably going to see a little bit more out of Jacorian, which Jacorian is maybe one of the best athletes that the Raiders have. It's just his technique isn't quite there. But from a speed standpoint, I am really curious to see how Jacorian Bennett does up against the Miami Dolphins team that is just loaded with speed. Maybe the fastest team in the NFL. Nate Hobbs is going to have to play more. Marcus Peters is going to have to play more. But a name that I want the nation to just keep in mind here is Jack Jones. So Jack Jones was released by the New England Patriots, and I'm recording this video on Monday. Some of y'all are probably going to see it on Tuesday, but he's going to go through waivers. I was told that the Raiders might show some interest in him, and here's just the bottom line. Jones has got some off-the-field issues. He's been a knucklehead, to say the least, so far, but the reason why that I think you should at least look into it is because he did play with Antonio Pierce with Arizona State when AP was part of that linebacker coaching regime over there. On top of that, if I were to think of a coach like Antonio Pierce that would probably be able to get Jack Jones to get his shit together, because dude's got legit first, second round talent, was drafted in the 4th round because of some of the off-the-field stuff, has struggled, and that's why he's no longer with the Patriots, because they can't keep him on the straight and narrow. To me, though, I think Antonio Pierce has done a good enough job winning over this locker room and has done a good enough job with some of the players that if they want to take a shot on this guy because Amik is hurt and because we need that extra cornerback depth, I say we at least go out there and try to do it. Coming up next here on the show, Colton Miller injury news. Obviously, the Raiders' offensive tackle was unable to go against the New York Jets, so is he going to be able to go against the Miami Dolphins? I'll give you my opinion on that in just a second. Today's show, though, is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you want to get started with daily fantasy sports made easy, that's what makes PrizePicks the #1 fantasy spot out there. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, and I want you to use code CLNS. You're going to get a first-time deposit up to $100. Now, I'll be real with y'all. My picks did not hit yesterday, and it's okay because you still can go out there. You can still have a fun time. I was hoping that Aidan O'Connell, I got that one. Josh Jacobs, I got that one. But you know what? I took the less on Davante Adams. He had 86 receiving yards. And sure, I didn't win, but I had a hell of a time doing it. And for people that were watching our live show on Sunday, we did a second half prize picks. And, I mean, you're locked and loaded into that game even if you don't even care about the game. Now, we care about it because we're the nation. But what I want you guys to do, here's a homework assignment, and I mean it. I want you to take a game this week, Thursday Night Football, maybe with Jugs and I. Maybe it's a game during college football on Saturday. Maybe it's, I don't know, a basketball game. I want you to do one game this week. Start with PrizePicks and just tell me how much fun you have. You're going to be locked into that game. And I always say, in today's day and age, if you can spend $10, $20, and then you have an opportunity to win $100, maybe $200, to entertain yourself in today's day and age for 2-3 hours and spend $10, $20, that's unheard of. And then on top of that, you have a chance to win money. So try it out. I promise you're going to have a lot of fun with it. That link's going to be available to you guys down in the comments and down in the description, prizepicks.com/CLNS. All right, let's talk now about Kolton Miller and his injury news. So he was unable to go due to a shoulder injury against the Jets. And I said earlier last week that if he's hurt, he's got to be really, really struggling with the injury because he's one of the toughest dudes in that Raiders locker room. And he's played through some pretty wicked injuries, especially when he was a rookie. But it's only the second game of his career that he's missed since being drafted in 2018. And from what I understand right now, he's a coin flip for Week 11. Obviously, you want to see how the injury report progresses as the week goes on, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't really anticipate that you're going to see too much of Miller because, to me, I know what Kolton Miller is. I know that he's one of the best left tackles in the league. And if the injury is right there where he's a coin flip to play, you let him miss the entire week. You look at him on Saturday and you go, are you good to go? If he says yes, you put him out there in the game. Now, I did talk with Kolton a few days ago. I want to say this was on Friday, and I said, hey, bro, like, what's going on with, like, the whole injury and everything? And he said that he's just trying to be smart with the injury. That was on Friday. So the fact that Kolton told me that, maybe it's not as severe as what originally was to believe. But to me, I look at this injury here, and I'm like, all right, if Colton Miller is unable to go, now you got to go back to Colton or Jermaine Illuminor at left tackle. You're probably going to roll with Thayer Munford in there at right tackle. And I thought that the Raiders overall did a pretty solid job at times, better in the run blocking game, got to get better in the pass blocking game. But you're going to have some of that extra offensive line depth, going to have to step up for Kolton Miller depending on whether or not he's able to play in this game against the Dolphins. My hope, though, obviously, is that he's out there. Personally, if you are trying to play it a little safe, maybe you don't risk it. Maybe you don't put him out there against Miami. I think that if they do want to go the super, super safe route, maybe you just rest him against the next 2 weeks against Miami. Maybe you rest him then up against the Miami or the Dolphins and the Chiefs because the Raiders have that Week 13 bye. So you give them that extra time. To me, though, I do wonder whether or not if you try to get him out there, because if you do risk some more of a severe injury with your top left tackle, your top offensive tackle, that's going to put you in a little bit of a sticky situation. So because of that, if you're confident that he could play, obviously you put him out there. But if it's an injury that you are actually like really, really worried about, maybe you rest him this week against Miami, then he's ready to go against Kansas City, or you just let him rest. You give him basically 4 weeks off is what it'll end up being, and then you have him ready to go Week 14, your final stretch with the Minnesota Vikings. So in terms of the Raiders' offensive line, though, against the New York Jets yesterday, this is according to PFF. The run blocking number is the one up top. The pass blocking number is down below. And, you know, Greg Van Roten at times continues to do his thing. I really, really like the quote that I saw from Josh Jacobs that said, you know, Greg Van Roten told him, hey, stay inside. I know the coaching staff wants this run to go to the outside, but trust me, keep it on the inside. And that's what Jacobs did. And then he broke off his 40-yard run, which ended up setting up the only touchdown that was scored on Sunday Night Football. So let's just say again, here's going to be the Raiders' offensive line potentially against Miami. What is your confidence level? We saw one game, but again, that's against the New York Jets. Like, the Jets are one of the best defenses in the NFL. Miami doesn't have that same type of defense. They are a much better team at home, but I want to know, what is your confidence level in the Raiders' offensive line without Kolton Miller? Scale it for me from 0 to 10. I want to know the answer down below. My answer right now is a 6 out of 10. I still want to see some improvements. The guy that I've probably been the most disappointed in this season on the offensive line has been Dylan Parham. Like, I've been expecting a lot more. I've been expecting him to get better. He's been kind of getting bullied a little bit there on the left guard spot. So, Colton, if he's not in, it's going to be Jermaine Illuminor. I'm somewhere around that 6 out of 10 as it stands right now. So, even though this is the Raiders report, you got to keep your friends close, but you got to keep your enemies a little bit closer. And the biggest injury that I would say right now going on in Miami is around their running back. So I'll give you the update around their star running back. But remember, for anybody out there that hasn't subscribed yet, please take time out of your day to do so. On top of that, make sure you join us live on Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Then we're going to be live on Thursday for a little Thursday Night Football big game. It's probably the best Thursday Night Football game of the year so far. And then live on Sunday against the Dolphins. We're going to take down the Dolphins. Our Dolphins team here has been talking a lot of trash all week, so I want to show them how the nation gets down, and I'm hoping that you guys are down to get down. Reetma's Twitter? I think we can do it later on. All right, y'all, here's the update here on the Dolphin star running back Devon Achane. So he practiced on Monday, and remember, they're coming off a bye, so his 21-day activation window to return from the injured reserve, it is officially opened. He was placed on the IR Week 6, and he hasn't got much playing time this season, but when he's been on the field, he has been electric, man. I mean, he's been a hell of a running back. He's also helped out this Dolphins offense a lot. When you look at some of the big numbers that this Miami offense has done, it's been with Achane in the backfield. And again, that's what happens when you actually have an offensive-minded coach that knows how to get the running game going. And the numbers that I'm going to show you here, this is in 4 games, okay? 4 games. Here are his rushing numbers: 38 carries, 460 yards, 5 touchdowns. Dude is averaging 12.1 yards per carry. That is Madden type of numbers. I mean, those are silly numbers. Then he's also been a solid option out of the backfield as catching the football. Been targeted 12 times, 9 catches, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 5 first downs. So half of his catches are turning into first downs. And to me, when I look at H and overall, it's just that speed, and you add that speed with Tyreek Hill, you add that speed with a guy like Raheem Mostert, you add that speed with Jalen Waddle. I mean, there's a lot of fast players on this Dolphins team, so I'm hoping that the Raiders are ready to go. I will admit I am excited to see Alec Ingold. He's probably one of my favorite all-time Raiders just from covering the show the way that I have. But the Raiders defense needs to be ready because this might be their toughest test no matter what. I mean, you look at a lot of offensive numbers out there, and the Dolphins are at the top for a reason. You need to be able to get after Tua. You need to be able to limit yards after the catch because this is going to be a team that they're going to get you. And the Raiders have been a little bit suspect tackling. You got to be able to change that up, or it's going to be a long, long game on Sunday. Now, that's all the time I got for you guys. Again, hopefully see you all on Sunday for our watch party here. And if anybody, again, hangs out with me or hung out with me at Redtail, don't be afraid to tag me on IG, tag me on Twitter and some pictures. I want to be able to put some of those up on the show throughout the majority of the week here. Appreciate the nation for showing up. Hopefully Kolton Miller's out there. Hopefully Amik Robertson are ready to go up against the Miami Dolphins. How many points will the Dolphins score against the Raiders? So I usually ask this one for the Raiders offense. Let's go reverse here. How many points will the Dolphins score against the Raiders? Right now, they are the only team in the NFL averaging over 30 points per game.
Slide to the left.
What do you think here?
Slide to the right.
How many points will the Dolphins score?
I'm going to say
27.
I think that's the right amount. I'm going to say 24 or 27.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I mean, I'm really curious to see how the Raiders offense
The offense
does.
is so good.
Yeah.
It's going to really come down to, can the Raiders, one, control time of possession and get Jacobs going? I think more than the second half against that Jets, this game's going to really come down to, can the Raiders run the ball and control the clock? And they've got to finish drives. You can't have 75% of your drives end in a field goal.
Yeah.
That are like on the opposing side of the field. You have to score touchdowns whenever you get in the red zone, whenever you get even inside the 30-yard line of the opposing team. You got to score a touchdown.
Yeah, so the Dolphins' last 3 games, 31 points they scored against New England. They scored 42 against Carolina, and then 31 against the New York Giants. So if I'm looking at recency here, I'm looking at the Raiders put up 30 against the Giants. The Dolphins put up 31 against the Giants at home. So to me, I know what the Dolphins' offense is. It's an electric offense. It's kind of like Steph Curry. You can try to slow them down. You're not going to be able to 100% contain them, but you got to try, and I'm hoping that this Raiders physical team is going to be able to match up pretty well with the Dolphins. But again, they got a lot of speed out
Speaking of
there.
that,
What's up, man? Anybody going to the Raiders game in Miami next Sunday looking for a group to tailgate with, please help. That's awesome.
we can do that right now. If you're type me if you're going to the Dolphins game this Sunday. This Sunday.
What do you think? Who's going? I'm hoping that the Hard Rock Stadium, that's the name of it, I think, right? 30% Raiders. Can we do it?
Big homie, I don't really get what you mean.
Y'all never coached a flag football game. Stop it, Chugs. You've never coached a flag football game.
Thing is,
I
I
agree.
have.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, let's say.
I was the coach of junior and senior year, our Powder Puff football team. I coached 20 fearless women out on the gridiron,
Hell yeah.
pulling flags and pulling hair.
Dude.
So, big homie, suck it.
Suck it. Yeah, Carter. I mean, I eat corn the long way. You said it, not me. You said it, not me.
Carlos, you said it, not me.
Yikes.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far. That's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, here's the thing. My voice is slowly starting to die down here a little bit.
Hashtag coat your throat.
And it's Patrick B's favorite time of the day. Well, maybe not for Patrick B, but if Patrick was in Central Time,
Yeah.
he would love what time
Central
it is.
Time, Patrick B would be living life right now.
He's feeling good, man. He's feeling good.
Feeling good in the
Christian
neighborhood.
said he's going, so there you go. Link up. Take a picture. I love it. All right, guys, I got to get going here. I appreciate every single person for tuning in. Again, we're going to be live tomorrow. Little Raiders Report action here. It's going to be Tuesday live show, we'll have 3 different segments for y'all. We'll probably get some more updates, some news and rumors. I'll probably do a Miami Dolphins preview, something in regards to that. And if any other updates end up going down around the silver and black, you already know I'll do my best to keep you updated. Also, really appreciate all y'all being understanding and patient just because how I sound right now. I also appreciate the fact that Chugs always tries to copy me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No? Okay. Seriously, though, much love to all y'all. Thanks for pulling up. I got to get the hell out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, live here on the Raiders Report.